older moms that I never knew were out there.
Yep,
So I think
absolutely.
that bots helped me kind of create that niche too.
Absolutely. And so that's what's so important. Like that, if you take nothing away from anything we ever do, please know that if you try to sell everything to everyone, you sell nothing to no one. And that's the problem with marketing and sales today. There's no way you can speak to everyone. You're not Apple. And even Apple doesn't speak to everyone because there's people that have Androids,
Hmm.
right? So if you're trying to sell everything to everyone, you're Jesus, and you're not. And I don't mean to be so tongue in cheek, but that's how complex, but how simple this really is. Okay. So with that said, before we get started, I love these wins. These are so powerful. Like you guys are, I'm so excited. But I am going to toss it to Lindsay for just a second because there's a couple little housekeeping pieces in the group. And I know Yvonne said that she did her group homework, so good job. I know a lot of you guys have, but she did stick some really cool, fun things in there. So I want her to talk about that really quickly, and then she'll toss it back to me, and we're going to get started with this training and kind of deep dive.
Yeah. So I want to start with I haven't done my homework yet because I got a weird eye infection and you did not want to see any of that. I'm just now back to normal. So I will be plugging into the group. You'll get my video too, and then I'll be going in and watching all of yours. I saw a few of yours pop up, and that's why I haven't had a chance to watch them yet. I'm on day 2 of really being able to look at a screen again without my eyes just like saying, go to sleep, Lindsay. And sometimes you just need to like listen to your body and go take a break. And so that's what I did. So you will be seeing our videos coming up really soon. But if you haven't had a chance to do that, if you go pinned to the top of our group, you'll see where we did our welcome video. And in that, we gave you guys a little bit of homework about you introducing yourself to the group. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, go ahead and watch that video and do that introduction. And then yesterday we very much want this to be a space where you guys feel really safe. That's why we set the values that we have. We've set some really clear boundaries and some really just set intention around how we want the space to be. And part of that is that we really want to show up for you guys in a really kind of a cool way, the way that maybe you will show up for other people, maybe you don't always get showed up for on yourself. And so yesterday we dropped at the top. It's also pinned at the top. If you haven't had a chance to take advantage of it, there is a Starbucks card for you to go get your own Starbucks on us as a welcome to the group, but also to kind of challenge you to recognize how you feel when something like that happens. So there's a few questions in there to kind of take you a little bit introspective in that receiving energy of having someone do something for you just because and kind of playing with that. So when you guys get a chance, go get your coffee because we could all use a little bit of coffee. If for some reason where you live does not have a Starbucks, shoot us a message and we'll facilitate getting you money to go to your own local coffee shop, and that way you can experience that just like everybody else. But I'm super excited for you guys to look at the questions, contemplate those, and then give us some thoughts on kind of where you guys are there. You'll see a lot of and we talk about this in the welcome video. This is a very well-rounded community as far as how we approach things, because with our experience, and we have vast experience in different ways, we've seen that you can focus a lot on this grow your paycheck piece. And that's where a lot of people will sell you. They'll be like, grow your paycheck, grow your paycheck, grow your paycheck, which is fantastic. And we are fans. So this is by no means not going to happen here. But it's about balance, and it's about making sure that you're growing yourself and you're growing your team and you're growing your leadership in a way that serves you. So you don't get that really good accolades from a growing your paycheck standpoint and start making all the money and all the things you want there, but your four-legged stool is unbalanced. So you'll see us sprinkle that stuff in, and then we'll have some more very direct education and kind of meeting you guys where you're at as we go. Really based on what we've seen and where we've seen people, kind of it's an iteration. You're always growing, you're always changing. But we really want to make sure you guys have the tools and resources. So when you run into a little speed bump, because it's not if you will, it is when, you guys have the tools and resources here to help you through really any speed bump that you're running into, whether it's leading your team, leading yourself and your family, being able to be the best version of yourself for not just your making money, not just your job, but who you are on the planet. And so we really want to make sure that you guys have all the tools and resources that we've been able to glean over the last whole time we've been on the planet, but that we've seen work really well for people who have ambitious goals like all of you. So that's a little homework pieces. So if you haven't had a chance, do your welcome video and go get yourself a coffee and kind of contemplate those questions, and then let us know what you guys think.
Yep, absolutely. And I would love for you guys to drop a picture because I'm so visual. Like, I just want to see what coffee you get. Like, are you iced latte? Are you a Froca mocha strawberry chino whipped cold foam with sprinkles and a cute little straw? Like, I just want to see. Like, I'm like me. I'm a basic like vanilla latte with some cinnamon sprinkles. Like, it's basic. So I want to see your coffee. Like, drop it in there because that's just fun, and it's about getting to know each other, right? And being as personable as we can in online space. So, I love that. I think a word you guys are going to hear us use a lot is whole. We want to bring wholeness to you and to your life, because that's something that Lindsay and I have been on a personal journey for a long time, is absolute wholeness. And it's like my grandpa says, you can't, it's not, there's nothing wrong with being poor, not having money. It's just inconvenient. So we're starting with that piece of our life, because when we have financial facilitation, we can do things and we can gift things and we can you pick what you want to with it, right? You can do whatever you want to with it. But wholeness is something that you're going to see a lot here. And one of the first pieces is teaching you how to become better in that aspect so that you have freedom and flexibility. So I love that, Lindsay. Great thought. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have questions, I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through all the modules that you're going to get, because you guys can watch them and they're going to self-explain. But what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is how to leverage it. So something you're going to notice about Lindsay and I is we're going to give you very tangible takeaways, because I do not believe, and Lindsay does not believe in doing things that are like philosophical. And in theory, we want to teach you like really easy, simple steps that you can actually go apply and get results. Okay. So the first result that we are pushing to get you guys is the metric of reach. Okay. So if you don't know what reach is, I'm going to explain it to you for a minute. Reach is when your social profile, whether you're picking Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I'm going to get to how to pick where you're starting in a minute, starts to go up, and the number of people that are seeing your actual page starts to increase. Okay, that's the first result that we're looking for, because if we don't get reach conquered, then we're not going to get a following, we're not going to get sales. That's the foundation piece. Okay, and it's also something that's really fun to start tracking, because you're going to see an improvement in it pretty quick. Okay, so that's our main focus. So as I go through some of this stuff today, and as Lindsay and I kind of build on this concept, we've also given you some homework that you're going to see dropping in the group over the next about a week and a half. Okay. There's not going to be any like pressure if you're, on a cruise or whatever and you can't do the homework. Don't stress about it. But you will be better the more you participate. So the more you put into it, the more you involve yourself on the homework, the more you do, the more you're going to learn, and the more you're going to get out of this initial first challenge and using these the content to creator course, which is what we're giving you. So with that said, just know that there's posts coming after this, and you're going to be asked to do some homework. They're not hard, but they're going to make what you're doing better. Okay, because again, baked in strategy is really important. So let me kind of give you, first of all, an overview of the content to creator course and kind of how it came about. Okay, so you guys know that in the last decade, Lindsay and I have been working really hard, creating, growing, doing all the things. Well, so of course, the very first thing people want to know is they want to understand how to grow an audience, because when you can grow an audience, you can literally put an insurance policy around your social selling business, your brick and mortar business, or whatever business you're doing, to be completely honest, right? You could, if you have a social selling business, but then you also have a brick and mortar business, these principles will apply. And that's what's really cool about this. Okay. So this initial course is breaking down the 6 steps in how to create virality. Okay. With that said, and I always preface this, and this feels a little bit like a paradox, the goal is not to go viral. And you're like, wait a minute, Crystal, that's just what you said. But I'm going to caveat this. We are not putting our work into vanity metrics. We're using a strategy to create virility, because that grows an audience. If you never go viral, quote unquote, I don't care, as long as we're trending upwards. Does that make sense? Because now is the time of the micro and the nano influencer, and people are making millions with a following as small as 3 to 5 to 10,000. Okay, so just so you know, I don't want you to put all of your eggs in the basket of virility, but if I teach you and Lindsay teaches you how to understand the strategy of viral, then you're going to trend upwards. Does that make sense, you guys? Thumbs up. 1, I'm tracking. 4, I'm completely lost. Okay, like 1, you're good, or 1, you're lost, Yvonne? You're good. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I kind of said thumbs up in 1. Okay. We'll get better at that. So that's what the purpose of the initial content to creator course is. And that's also why it was a gift with you for joining, because we knew that it would be such a valuable resource. So as you're going through that, it's going to teach you the baked in strategy of what actually is in the bot. And you're going to notice in the course, the first thing it's going to talk to you is about your micro niche. And interestingly enough, this course was actually recorded with a live audience of a class that I taught. And so because it's that way, you're going to get really cool feedback from people who are actually walking through it. And I find that people prefer to watch like a class where there's actual students learning, because they learn from the questions that the students are asking versus somebody just teaching and never being able to get on the level of the student. Okay, so just so you know, that course was recorded and on purpose put out there as a teaching platform. Okay, so you guys are going to have that. So just to kind of give you an idea of what are in the modules, you're going to have your micro niche. It's going to walk you through the hooks. It's going to walk you through the back analytics. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure that you go through the entire course. It's only 6 modules long, so it's really not hard to do. You could probably knock it out in, if you did one a day, you can knock it out in 6 days. The back-end analytics are going to be really important, okay, because we are going to talk about that in the group, and that's where you're going to find that information is in the course, because it shows you how to watch to see if your stuff's hitting and how to look at your reach, okay? So make sure you don't skip through those. It's going to talk to you about cutting out the lulls and cutting out the dead space in your content creation, whether it's with stories, whether it's with reels, okay? That particular course is really hyper-focused on reels, but it's because reels get the most viewership in the feed and in the algorithm. Reels get 600% more views than anything else. Okay. That doesn't mean you can't do other content. I do lots of other content, but just keep that in mind. Okay. And everything that we teach through the lens of reels can be applied in other pieces of content. Okay. So the principles are the same. It's just the tactical execution is a little different. Okay. One more little nugget of advice. Whatever platform you're working on right now, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, okay? If you feel like you're confident in one platform, then I very lovingly give you permission to go work on a second. If you have not mastered one platform, I want you to pick one and stick with it. I do not want you to try to ride 15 horses with one tushy. It does not work. Okay. I would rather you get really good at one before you try to take on another. Okay. The third thing I wanted to point out is that that course is taught through the lens of Instagram, because Instagram is kind of like the bougie big brother of all the social medias. And because Facebook and Instagram are both meta, once we learn it from Instagram, it's really easy to trickle it and apply it to all of the other platforms. Does that make sense? With the exception of YouTube, because longs and shorts are completely different. So there's a little bit of a different strategy for YouTube. So that's not necessarily something that's applicable on YouTube. It's mostly for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and it does carry over into LinkedIn to some degree too. So just so you guys are aware, the long videos over there are a little bit different. That doesn't mean you can't play with the bot and use YouTube. I'm just want you to understand as you're working through it. Okay. But there are some things that are applicable. And as you go through that course, okay, there's going to be documents and things that are baked into there to help things make it easier that you could absolutely print off. And I would recommend that you do print those off. Okay. And then the last bit of the course is going to be going over relatability, shareability, and then repeatability. Okay. Again, things that are really important. And that's the reason why we've got to laser down our micro niche. Okay. I don't want you guys to get so stuck though in the strategy that you do not take time and get creative with it and play with it and make it your own. Does that make sense? So take it and learn it, but just know that the best way to learn is through trial and error. And no two people have the exact same algorithm. In fact, there are over 10,000 different versions of Meta right now. So there's a pretty good chance that none of us here in this room and that are catching the recording even have the same version of Meta, because we are literally their little guinea pigs. And that's just the way it is. And we're never going to beat it, but we might as well figure out how to join it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You guys following with that? Okay. So that's a little bit about the course and what it looks like and how you leverage it. Now I'm going to throw it back to Lindsay, and she's going to talk to you about how you're going to get it, how you're going to get access to it, how you're going to get in there.
Yeah, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna get an email here in a little bit. It will take you to a page where it will say founding member, consumer to creator course access. You're gonna just put your email, your name, your phone number in, and then just hit proceed to checkout. It's not gonna charge you anything. It's $0. That's just to be able to actually functionally give you access. Here, so we talked about this in our welcome video, but as founding members, you guys are getting a really interesting behind the scenes view of how you do something like this. And we're pulling back the curtain as we go. And so we're in the process of building out your guys' actual app and community, because everything will actually live within a full community. You'll be able to log into an app, see all your courses, see all the training. So if you happen to miss one or you want to go back and rewatch one, it's all going to be in an app. And that'll be launched probably later this month. Nope, just kidding. It's end of April. It'll be middle of May, most likely whenever it's ready to go. We want to make sure it's right. But you guys will sort of be our quote unquote beta testers as we're going. So initially you'll get access to this course. Make sure you save the link and we'll have that. If for some reason you guys lose the link, don't worry about it. Just look in the group. I'll make sure we pin it or just ask. You can always message Crystal or I, and we'll be happy to tackle it for you. But you'll be able to get in and then you'll just be able to go through the course one module at a time. So it should be very straightforward. But if anybody has any tech issues, just reach out to one of us and we'll be happy to handle it. I saw a couple messages. Can you use the documents with our teams? I don't want to do anything I'm not allowed to do. Yeah. How do you want to handle that? You're muted, Crystal.
Oh yeah, no problem. That's great. So
Yeah.
here's what I'll tell you, and here's how I've explained this to all of my coaching clients, because most of my coaching clients that come in are in MLM and they have teams. So I'm gonna just be super transparent. No, please do not share this. And here's why. Number one, it's because it's our intellectual property and we've worked really hard to put this together. But number two, it will not be valued. If you want your team to come into TBA and learn, for them to have some skin in the game is really the only way they're going to value it and appreciate it. Okay. And I say that lovingly and with kindness, but I also say that from being a very big leader in a very large MLM at the very, very top. So I mean, just to be transparent, I have made 6 figures a month in MLM. And I created things like this for the team and they did not value it because it was free. Okay. So are things going to come out in conversations and you're going to talk about it? Absolutely, because it's your brain and you're learning new things, right? But I do ask, and Lindsay does ask on behalf, and just out of respect for the hard work we're putting in here, and out of respect for your investment and for what you're doing, that you please do not share this information, just because of those reasons. But that was such a great question, and thank you for being so respectful and asking that.
Well, and also we're going to have some availability for you guys. If you have team members that you think this is a good fit for, or that you think should be here, we're going to have some really cool stuff we'll have launching in the next couple of weeks for you guys. So if you refer anybody in for now, we'll retro you into the cool things that we'll be launching. So if you know there's somebody that you would like to walk alongside with this, or you think would get a lot of value, we still have a handful of those founding member spots left, so they can lock in that $50 forever price, just like you guys did. So if you want to, because what we're going to be launching, I think Chris already mentioned, is like, we'll do this course together over the next couple of weeks in the actual group, and we'll be coaching you guys through it every step of the way. And so if you have people in mind that you think would also benefit from that, or you think would enjoy the community, we are getting close to running out of the founding member spots, but they are still there. And like I said, we'll honor what we're going to launch in a couple of weeks for you guys for inviting people in. We'll honor anybody that you invite between now and then.
Yeah, because we understand accountability is a big deal, like, and especially for women, which the majority of this will be women. I'm not going to say there won't ever be a man, because I hate to be that closed-minded, because there could be, but majority of people in social selling are women. Let's just be transparent. That's just our industry, and there's nothing wrong with that. And women, we love community. And I got a podcast from my daughter this morning, and before I was done listening to it, I sent it to 3 people. That's just what we do, right? We roll and we do things together. Like, we want to lock arms and have our besties with us, and cool. So if you want to have a little accountability group in here, come with you, great. Just reach out to Lindsay and I, and we can, like she said, retroactivate. We've got some cool stuff that we're building around that, because we completely understand that. And because we were so deeply submerged, Lindsay's more corporate, but I came from MLM. Like, I love it. And I understand the ideals of wanting to have your community and your team. So those are great questions.
Well, and I think, like, echoing what Crystal said, like, there's so much free content, free, and people do just yes, like, we want to make money just like you guys do, like, there's that, but really more than anything, like, we want this to actually work. Like, we've been dreaming of what we know works and we know what helps and being able to support people. And the reality is, like, the way psychology works for human beings, if they don't invest something in it, they just don't invest something in it. And so that's part of it, is it's as much as it's like, yes, we want to make money and that's fine. But at the same time, like, that's the way that we price this. Obviously, that's not our number one goal. Our real goal is that we have it at an investment that makes you want to show up. So
Yep,
throwing that out
exactly.
there. Yeah.
But those are great questions. And so with that said, I think we've given you enough of the insight of how the course works. And one more thing I want to add to it. As you go through the course, you're going to be so mind you, this course was recorded 6 or 7 months ago. You're going to see how far technology's come even in the last 6 or 7 months, because people in the course were literally doing this manually with worksheets and fill in the blanks with sentences. Okay, that's how far we've come in 6 months. So you can see at a what fast pace that technology is actually thriving. It's really cool. But you're going to be able to take those conceptualizations. Whoops. Sorry, I usually put my plane on airplane mode or my phone, but like I said, in my car today. Sorry about that. But you're going to be able to take these and throw them in the bot and get through that work in like 5 minutes versus a week. It's amazing. It's going to be so cool. Okay, so now we'll pause and take the last 5 minutes. We want to respect your guys' lunch break and your time. Pick the last 5 minutes. Any questions, feel free to ask. I know some have been answered in the chat, but is there anything else that you guys want to ask or need help with? Of course, you have access to the group or whatever you need, but anybody else have any questions before we let you guys go?
I have a question, but it's not about the curriculum and the training. I did I guess upload the calendar, and I don't know where it went or where am I supposed to see it?
It should be connected within your actual calendar. So if you don't see it in your calendar, I may just go ahead and drop a Loom sometime in the next week or so in there so you guys know where to go, but it should just embed into your calendar. So you should just see the this particular thing was not on your calendar, but the previous welcome one was. So you should just see it on your calendar as like an invitation. So it would have been last week. I feel like, what day did we do that, Crystal? Do you remember?
No.
I don't remember.
I have to look at my calendar.
Yeah, in theory, it will show up on your calendar, and we're working on finalizing the backside of the team support to make sure that stuff's on there ahead of time. That's actually part of the work Crystal and I were doing this week, is getting everything lined out for the next couple months. Here is going to be, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, it's going to be so amazing. You guys don't even know like how amazing it's going to be. It's going to be great.
All right. Okay, no, that's good. All right, I just thought maybe I wasn't.
You probably did it just right, but I will repost up there once we get it updated with all the rest of the calls that we have scheduled.
Okay.
And then when you see that, we'll say, hey, everything's scheduled. Make sure you're connected on the calendar subscription. And if you don't
Okay.
see it, then let me know and we'll help you through it.
Sounds good. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Anybody else have anything?
Oh, quick question. What was the
Yep.
title? LPG?
Gee.
No,
No.
that's
Mm-mm.
something else. Never mind.
No, you're okay.
Cool. Well, I think that getting you guys in and just getting you started in the course so you can start learning the strategy behind virality and then leveraging the bot. It sounds like you guys have already got a great start. Again, if you have questions, just drop them in the group. We'll have a weekly question thread that's fixing to start happening too, so that you guys have those. And so you can see everybody else's questions, because I would say send us a question in Messenger, but if it's in the group, then everybody can see it. And then it might be something else that somebody thought. So we'll have those going to, so you guys have that accessibility. So, okay. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Lindsay, anything else before we let these ladies have their lunch break back?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. You guys excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay,
Mhm.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. You guys have dropped some great videos. If you haven't got your video up, I'm talking to myself too, do, so we can get to know you, because it's really fun to like get inside your hearts and know you, and just helps us to be able to tailor this even more specifically. So thank you for trusting us, and thank you for your time. You guys have a great lunch. We'll talk soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye.